What's up, everybody? Quiet.
Mark, obviously you have a lot of new faces. One being, Wei
Myself?
But how do you go about approaching fall camp with your room, knowing that, there's a bunch of talent there, but a lot of guys that you're trying to work through?
Well, for me, the only two new guys are Racine and Bryce Duke. And so those two, coming in, there's a structure that I have to ensure that they follow to get the right evaluation, in this short amount of time. But for everybody else, they've been here just as long as me. And so, we've gotten on the right path in spring and then now had that continue through the summer, and then we're just going to segue into fall camp. So I'm pretty familiar with the room and, with the exception of those two, and, we'll get the best out of them and get the best evaluation possible and have the best squad out there on August 30th.
In spring, you talked about Wei Sean, sort of his acclimation and getting into shape and wanting to see a positive trajectory going into the summer.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him? What are your thoughts as we start fall camp with him?
Well, that's a great question for Doug and his staff, but from all the reports that I've gotten and from just sneaking a peek here and there, yeah, he looks really good. He's a lot stronger and he was just a baby last year. Just got out of high school and now getting that what they call man strength. He's there and yeah, I'm excited to see what he does here in camp and then moving forward into the season.
In what areas do you think Wei Sean needs to improve, and have you seen that over the course of the spring?
Well, from what I've had at the previous place I was at until now, I just getting in better shape and then again, like what I said, he's so young, and then now having a full year of college football under his belt, and then being able to work out, and be just with a great strength staff and doing all of that kind of stuff. He's better, and I just see him continuing to get better as we go.
You mentioned your two new additions heading into fall. How do they round out this running back room?
Well, really good. Bryce is, I'll speak on him first. He's a veteran. He approaches it the way that I like. I love the way that he's coming to practice and the way that he's kind of attacked learning what we're doing, assimilating to what we do here at the University of Utah. So he's doing well. And then Racine's a young puppy. He reclassified to become a Utah Ute, and I'm grateful for that. And so I've got to be very, very cautious in the way that I approach it, see the good that he does and build off of that, and then whatever deficiency he does have from high school, continue to build that on as we go along. But I'm grateful that they are very eager and hungry, and that usually gets them to where they need to be.
What was your first impression of Devin Green, and what sort of progress have you seen from him since he joined the program?
Devin, I remember him from high school. Him and Wei Sean. They're right from the same place, and so I remember him, recruiting. In fact, I had to at one point decide what I was going to do, and when Devin went to UNLV, it was good for him, and just seeing that he's back now and seeing how he's grown and how he's matured a little bit. This is a good time for him to really show what he can do for us, and he's on that track, and we'll see how it comes along.
How much one here? There are only so many reps to go around. What specifically are you looking for as guys try to establish themselves on the pecking order?
Well, with that, when the bullets fly, I hate using that term, but when those things are going and everything is in game-like situation, that's the biggest evaluation point for me. Everything else building up to that point is good, but when they're with the rest of the guys and we're going against the defense or going against UCLA come the 30th, that's when I make my huge evaluations on them. And so with the exception of the two new ones that I mentioned, everybody else I've kind of got a good picture of where they are and where they need to be in order to represent the University of Utah come that day. So.
Thanks, Mark.